Portland, Oregon. Steve Lundblad's not only owns the Wet Spot Tropical Fish Store in Portland, but the Cichlid Exchange as well. Both might be right down the street from each other, but they are run absolutely separate. Wet Spot in one hand, Cichlid Exchange in the other. We'll let Steve explain. Steve, since we went to the Wet Spot, which is a phenomenal place, and this place I could probably live here for a couple months at the Cichlid Exchange, what is the difference between the two so people understand?
Yeah, it's been a long work trying to differentiate the two. I do own the two, so from that standpoint, they are owned by the same person or same company. The two businesses run completely separate. We have different staff. Everything is separate. The Cichlid Exchange sells fish only, like I said earlier, only to retail stores across the country that have a storefront. Wet Spot happens to be one of those. So the Wet Spot pays the same for fish as everybody else. So it is not like it's all in the same business. It is not. It's run completely separate. So don't be afraid that you think the Cichlid Exchange sells to the public. We do not. The Wet Spot sells to the public. We sell wholesale only.
See, I wanted to clear that up because, well, that's what Blue Zoo TV, presented by Hikari, featuring Fluval, does. From the great Cichlid Exchange and Portland, and being the guest of Steve Lundblad, this is Blue Zoo TV. Stephen, one of the things that also stands out, a lot of things stand out about this place, is that when you have so many fish in a tank, or even some tanks that don't have as many fish, I don't think I've ever seen so many lively fish. All the fish seem to be jumping almost out of the tank when you walk by. Yeah, they probably want food, but everything looks so healthy.
Well, thank you for that. We try our best to have healthy fish. A lot of the techniques that we do to keep fish happy, reducing stress, one of the biggest ones is no fish likes to be in a bare aquarium. I mean, who would like a bare aquarium in your home to look at your fish? Fish don't like it either. You'd be uncomfortable if somebody took all the furniture out of your living room. You know, fish feel the same way. So you have to put structure, ornaments, plants in with your fish. So we have all of these in with fish, even in the wholesale setting, to reduce the stress. And reduce the stress, you immediately make the fish much healthier. So less medications go on. And also because of the dimly lit room, the fish are not used to bright conditions, so they actually do really well with the light, so then they come to the glass and they're really happy. But a lot of feeding, taking really good care of them, and the fish act nice.
What are some species here that you would consider rare or not often seen in a fish store?
Well, there's quite a lot, but to start with, we carry, mostly because I like a lot of different kinds of fish. A number of the fish you see here, unfortunately, don't sell as well as I would hope they would, but we carry a lot of different kinds. We have at least 10 different kinds of wild bettas at most times. There's at least 20 some kinds of Corydoras. There's lots and lots of African cichlids. We have probably 20 or 25 different kinds of barbs, and I don't just mean 3 or 4 color forms of each. These are actually different species. Lots of different rasboras, lots of nanofish, which is definitely the trend in the world as far as in this part of the world with aquaria. People with small tanks need small fish. So lots and lots of small fish, Boraras, little miniature rasbora types, lots of shrimp species. We have lots of different eels. We have millions and millions of catfish, it feels like. Just things, all kinds of different fish. And again, we try to have as big a variety of things as we can for our retail stores so that they can get as many species as they could from us.
Stephen, you do have a couple of fish that are close to your heart, I understand, and what are those?
Well, my biggest group would be the different Aulanacara species, which are the peacock cichlids from Lake Malawi. Yeah, I've been working with Aulanacara since my first trip to Malawi in 1986, and actually have one tank of fish that's still from that original trip, not the original fish, but the same lineage. But the different species of Aulanacara, right now there's at least 38 different color forms in this room, which is more than I know of anywhere in the world outside of Lake Malawi itself. So, and they're all here, they're all bred individual tanks, one species per tank, no hybridization. So they're all 100% pure strains, and most of them have been here for many years. So that's one thing we're really proud of. And we have lots of other very unusual Malawi fish, lots of different Tanganyikan fish where we keep them 100% pure because nothing is bred in the tanks together. It's only one species per aquarium, at least that could possibly hybridize. We can keep a Tanganyikan fish with a Malawi fish, and we're not really worried about that. But the Hikari has always been my favorite group.
So if you're in the States and you don't necessarily yet have the budget to go to Africa, you can always come here and pretend you're at Lake Malawi for a couple hours.
Well, yes, if we were open to the public, you certainly could. Unfortunately, we're not as a wholesale facility. We're not really open to the public, but all these breeding colonies of Hikari certainly brings a lot of light to the fact that freshwater fish do have color. I get tired of that scenario that only saltwater fish have color. When you see a lot of these fish, you'll be amazed and how much easier they are to keep than saltwater items, but just lots and lots of nice color, yes, to help not going to Lake Malawi. But if you get a chance, Lake Malawi, it's a beautiful place to go.
And if you're not and you can't go and you can't come here, you might as well watch Blue Zoo TV and see the second best thing, which is your place here on
Watch Blue Zoo TV and you'll see all the fish from here on TV. So yes, that would be great.
I was almost fishing for that little promo. I apologize for that.
Yeah. No problem.
What's amazing about Cichlid Exchange is not only the world-class cichlids, you feel like you can just stare at the fish and be mesmerized. See? I told you. So we visited the Wet Spot and Cichlid Exchange. We had Stephen give you kind of a difference of what those two really are, finally setting the record straight. So if you can't go to Malawi, at least check out Blue Zoo TV. We're kind of bringing Malawi to you. This is Blue Zoo TV, presented by Hikari, featuring Fluval. Blue Zoo TV is presented by Hikari, making species-specific diets long before it was fashionable, because at Hikari, we know it matters. And featuring Fluval, discover life below water with Fluval. Blue Zoo is proudly partnered with Carib Sea, bringing science to life. Nature protected, nature perfected with Carib Sea. To email the show, go to bluezootv.com and follow us on Twitter at BlueZooTV.